Hi again, class. Matt Kingle here for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Another exciting edition of the Mac Attack. I am at the Omni Hotel in downtown Dallas for day 2 of Big 12 Media Days. And as you can tell, I'm not alone. Joined by my friend, Miss Kathryn Dunn, a proud and distinguished Baylor alum, class of 77.
2013.
Close enough. She is also a former Miss Baylor Beauty, a 2-time contestant on the Miss Texas pageant. She finished top 5 twice. And a former Dallas Mavericks dancer. I think I got it all. Now, a couple weeks ago, Kathryn Dunn did a pretty good video for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram where she expressly expressed her disappointment in her alma mater's decisions and actions and how it chose the dismissal of former football coach Art Briles. Now, here, Kathryn, at Big 12 Media Days, your university, Baylor, has been the dominant team of conversation. Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby went at length to talk about how he wants to try to get the bottom of this, what happened at Baylor University, with the implication that potential sanctions and penalties may be levied at Baylor's football team. With everything that you've known, read, and seen, and your opinions about this, do you think the football team will be penalized by either the NCAA, the Big 12, or potentially Baylor University itself?
Well, first, I was under the impression that by firing Art Briles and by firing Ken Starr, that was our punishment. And I think that when they initially made that decision, it was because they were giving in to the media and they were giving in to the public because they wanted answers. And I still believe that since the media is still wanting answers, they weren't happy with the firing and they still want more, they're not going to stop until they finally get more.
So if you don't think that they should be punished, do you think they will be punished? Do you think we're going to see sanctions? Do you think we're going to see potential scholarship reductions? That's a big deal for a football team. Do you think we'll see a bowl ban on Baylor for 2 seasons or 3 seasons?
Yeah, since it has turned into such a bloodbath, I think that the NCAA is going to do some sort of punishment. I'm not sure what, but I know that they are going to give in to what the media wants, what the public wants, and they're not going to stop until people are finally done talking about Baylor. And they're never going to be done. They're never going to be happy.
No, it'll eventually end. And I disagree with that. I don't think they're going to do anything. I think Baylor might throw some sanctions on there. They may say, okay, the coaches are going to be restricted on how many on-campus visits they can have with players or something like that. But I think given the uniqueness of these penalties and the types of things that we're talking about, this isn't standard stuff. This is so far off the grid. And if you look at how the NCAA butchered the Penn State case, I don't think they're going to do this again. And I think if they had, we would have known about it because Art Briles was fired about 2 months ago. And speaking of Art, his replacement was here today, and acting head coach Jim Grobe, who talked a little bit about the need to change some things at Baylor University, but also the need to maintain continuity for the sake of the players who are still there. Now, we're talking about a guy who's basically going to be a 1-year rental. Given that, Kathryn, what are your expectations for the football team just for 2016?
I want to see them put the emphasis on the caliber of student athlete that they're bringing in. I think that the emphasis should be on school, academics, integrity.
Not touchdowns?
No, I don't think so. I don't think
Not the 40-yard dash?
No, because once we started
not catching touchdowns?
Once we started putting the emphasis on physical ability to win football games, that's when we
then you started winning, and it was a lot of fun.
Honestly, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but it was almost more fun when we were losing.
Oh, no way.
Because we didn't.
It was so much fun. Floyd Casey Stadium was 90% empty because that's how much fun it was.
But you know what? Football fans that didn't go to Baylor care about that. The Baylor football team cares about that. But the actual Baylor alumni and a true Baylor fan, we don't care whether we win or lose. We care about tailgating. We care about going to George's, having fun. We care about the experience. We don't care about winning or losing.
But was it worth the trade? I mean, you got to experience both. It wasn't. So knowing what you know now, and this is an outlier of a situation. This scandal is really unique. These things don't happen that much. But knowing what you know now, was it worth bringing in guys who maybe didn't fit the ideal student-athlete paradigm? Because the trade is you won 10 games, you won the Heisman Trophy, you go to the Fiesta Bowl, you're going to the Russell Athletic Bowl. Nobody cares about that, but it doesn't matter. You've got a nationally relevant football team, and football, Saturday football games in November are fun, and it's not just going about George's at halftime.
It's really nice to win. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is very nice to win, and it's great to be taken seriously as a football team. But that's really not the end-all, be-all. I think that it's more importantly, especially since this is not the NFL, this is college, the students should be focusing on their academics and their future careers. But truly, I would much rather have a high caliber student athlete than just an athlete that comes in, they don't care about their academics, they don't care about their integrity, and they're just there to win and maybe get drafted to the NFL.
Yeah, baby. Last question. would you think that Baylor is going to return to its level of dominance, 10-win seasons nationally, relevant with a new coach in 2017, or are you fearing that the bad old days are going to come back and it's party time at halftime and who cares about the outcome?
They were not the bad old days. Again, true Baylor fans don't care if we win or lose. It's great to win, but we still are behind our team when they lose, and it's fine. I do think that we're going to hit a little bit of a slump, and it's going to be hard to get back up to where we were. But George's is still there. We can still go to George's at halftime. We can still get those big O's. But
I can't beat that. Next stop, Fantasyland.